Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Hello, Elisa. Hello, Caroline. Hello, Terry. Ciao, Letizia. Ciao, Giovanni. Oh, it's good to see all of you today. Good morning, Karen. Hello, Susie. Hello, Bonnie. Okay, so we've made really good ground. We've covered the general colors. We've covered the all 261 colors, plus the new Lauren McCracken, which is fantastic. Today we're going to go over the watercolor sticks. And so what I've done is I brought 6 tubes. So when I show you some color that also has a tube with me here, I'll show you as it compares to the tube, so you can kind of see both of them. So with that, hello everyone. I'm going to point this down. Okay. And the watercolor sticks are in all parts of the color chart. They're in the general colors. And you can see that denoted wherever it says available and there's an S, for example, opera pink. You can see opera pink here. There's a small stick, it says stick. That means this is available in stick. Also, there's 4 of them in the Primitex. There's none in the luminescent, but there's 4 in the Primitex. And there are 12 of them that are quinacridones. So I'll be showing those to you today. Not all of them today. We'll do half today. We'll do half next time. Yes, we're on daylight savings time here in Seattle. So what used to be 1 o'clock is now 2 o'clock. That means I'll probably lose quite a few people. Yeah, it's... Now, I do want to show you something that I find really interesting and kind of what I did that you might find useful as well. So make sure I show you the correct ones here. Okay. So in the Daniel Smith brochures, danielsmith.com, and then in the subsection brochure. Hello, Mark. You can find the Excel spreadsheet that has all of the information. And it's really quite a long spreadsheet that you can choose any piece you want. So let me show it to you in 3 pieces. It's 1, 2, 3 long. So the first one, and it's all one continuous, on your computer, it's one continuous strand. So it'll have, for example, the color name, alizarin crimson. It'll have what the series is, and the series is how it's marked for sale, 1, 2, 3, or 4. It has the common pigment name. In this case, it's alizarin crimson. Let me show you, make sure I'm showing the right ones here. I did 2, I did a subset. 1, 2. Yeah, that's right. So it has the SKU, which you probably don't need. It has what it is in English. So alizarin crimson in English. It then has it in French, German, Spanish, Italian. It then continues on. It tells you the color name. Alizarin crimson is the color name. What the series is. For some of you, this might be really useful. It has what the common pigment, so the common pigment name is alizarin crimson. Color name is alizarin crimson. The common pigment name is alizarin crimson. The color index is PR83, which means pigment red number 83, which is alizarin crimson. It then says its light fastness, its staining, its granulation, its transparency. So that might be really useful. Where it's really kind of interesting is when it has, for example, more than one pigment, it'll tell you all those pigment names here in the common pigment. So that might be really useful for you. Okay? So what I did is I went to this main large spreadsheet, and just so we have discussion today, I went and I sorted it by which ones were sticks. And all I did, I went to the last column that says it's available in 15, 5, and stick or pan. I sorted it and just printed those out, and there's 51 colors. And that just allows me to see those 51 colors. It allows me to see what's in each color. For example, here, Moonglow. Moonglow is pigment green number 18, pigment blue number 29, and pigment red 177, which means Viridian, Ultramarine blue, and Anthracite red. So here's kind of your diary to see everything you want to see, if you like that, right? So when it has more than one, it'll list actually all of the pigment names. All right, so this is what we're going to be looking at today. Throw this down there. So this is, I'll just show you some stuff, and then we'll do some paint outs, and then I'll look at your questions for tomorrow if there's something you want to see blended, etc. It's been a little while to pull those out. This is the plastic box they go in. So if you live in a humid area, these work really well. They're able to breathe. There's a little tiny hole right here, so it can breathe. And you can break them apart if you want. And what you can do is both to keep them separated. You just put them inside like that, and you just close the lid. And I'll break that open so you can see it. If you want to, you can actually break them apart. So you could travel with whatever ones you want to travel with. Okay, there we go. And they come in 5s, like this, in 5s. All right, so I see somebody said licorice, and I think you're talking about this, so let's take a look at this next. One thing I will show you as we go through, sometimes a stick, it could be a hands of yellow and a hands of yellow, and one will look like it's thinner than the other. It just means that it has lost more water. We left it in the dehydrator a little bit longer. Water's cheap. Water's something you can add yourself. So that would be the only difference. When we make the sticks, we lay them out. They're probably about 18 to 20 inches long. And then they're about twice as big as what this is right here. So right now they're a little bit less than my little finger. When they start out, they're probably as big as my index finger. And then we lose all that water over time. Jason, I'm not sure of that question. What I'll do is I'll ask marketing to look at that, and if they are sold separately, they will say yes, and then you can just search for them online. So this is what they look like when they come out. Then we dry them, and then we cut them, and then wrap them. So I just wanted to show you what they look like before we end up wrapping them. And yeah, they are different shapes because these are all done by hand. It's not by machine, so they dry by hand. We cut them all to fit the length that we need. Oh, so that's 2 of you. Karen and Jason both asked the same question. I will find out for both of you and get back to both of you, and I'll get back to everybody tomorrow. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Karen. Okay, so now let's look at some colors. And I brought some Yupo. We can play with some Yupo. This is Yupo. We can play with this as well. we go. There we go. All right, here we go. So they're in pseudo chroma order. I'm not going to put them out in perfect chroma order, but that's kind of how I did them. I did them 5 to 6 at a time. So let's take a look at, and these are my samples. Yours, if you purchase yours, you won't have this color. That's just because I've used these before as I travel. They're my traveling set. This is going to be a alizarin crimson out of the tube. You can do this right on the, if you wanted to, you can do this right on the paper, which is fine. Each one of these is, each stick is going to be different depending on the pigment. Some pigment will dry much tighter than other pigment. For example, shingles on a house, it'll pack. And that's just the, so it's whatever the nature of the pigment is. And you can make that as dark as you want it dark. If you want it darker than water I just did, you can go right off the end of the stick, right? That's going to make it more intense if you come off the stick. Because when I did this right here, you can still see where I put down the little dot of alizarin out of the tube. So if you want to match that same strength, you can do it right off the end of the stick. You could also, and Claudia Diaz-Hernandez, you can watch her video, or Giovanni. You can actually draw right into the paper if you want to do that, and then you could wet that. The only thing about putting the dry stick on the wet paper, it's almost like using masking fluid. You're going to move the fibers around, or you can move the fibers around. I pushed pretty hard right there. Okay, so there we go. Alizarin crimson from the tube, alizarin crimson from the stick. And there they both are. Stick, tube, and if I wanted this more condensed, I would just put more of the stick in here to get it to wherever I wanted it to be. Stella. All right, so with that, let's look at the next one. And the next one I'm going to show you is going to be burnt sienna. I'm going to show you burnt sienna, and then buff titanium. This one is burnt umber. This one is bismuth vandate, cobalt yellow, and we already looked at alizarin crimson. Again, these are my test sticks. Probably have little on them. When you buy them from wherever you buy them from, they'll be perfect. Okay. The one thing I don't know if I made clear, which is pretty interesting to see, is within the sticks, you can see Series 1, there's Series 2s, there's Series 3, Series 4, right here, this right here, which is Genuine Hematite is a 4. So there's Genuine series in here. There's series 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all the same price. They're actually less than a series 1 tube. So it doesn't matter in the sticks what the series is. We sell them for one price, and well, we don't sell them. The store has a price for them, and they're all sold cheaper than a series 1 paint. Okay? So some of these are just, you know, from a deal standpoint, I hate to say that, but from a deal standpoint, they're an awesome, awesome deal. I just see them as a different tool in your toolbox to use. They're really kind of like a big pan in your hand. Okay. So Brenda says, I graded them on and used them outside the lines. Very cool. Joy, I run them on a rough cutting board, then touch them with a set brush. All right, so let's look at the next color. And the next color is going to be the burnt sienna. And I think what I might do is just, I might just do it off the end of the stick. I think I'm just going to do that. I'm going to just do it off the end of the stick. And again, some of these, what Lauren says, you have to wake them up. So it depends on how tight the pigment packs. And you can just decide what you want to do on your own. You can make that as dark or as light as you want to. So this is burnt sienna. And if I wanted to, I can come back into it, for example, and I could draw, or I can make that darker. Pretty much you're in control of it. If you don't want any type of, if you like the markings, it's kind of an effect you want to have, you can do that. If you don't want it, you can come right off of the stick, and then you won't have any. Or as Joy and Brenda says, you can actually grate these to have a different effect. Sprinkle them like a salt and pepper shaker. Oh, it means it's a wet brush. Thank you. Oh, I see. All right, let me... So bringing these into an airport is no problem. Let me put it a different way. I've never heard of anyone having any issue bringing this into an airport because they're dry, and so there's really no issue. I can't see why there'd be an issue with a tube, but you know, I guess there could be. But with these, none. This one right here is going to be burnt umber. Burnt umber. And again, I can get wherever I want to get to depending on how I want to brush it, or do I want to draw into it. And so it is the same pigment. I haven't seen that question asked yet. It is the same exact pigment as what's in the sticks and what's in the pans. It is the same binder, which is gum arabic. So you can go from one to the other. They're going to have the same. They're going to have the same behavior. Hello, George. Okay, this is going to be bismuth, so Vandate yellow. we go. Hello, Dino. Dino is a brand ambassador. Dino is from the Philippines. Dino's an absolutely wonderful artist. Okay, this is Cerulean, which is cobalt yellow. And again, it's smaller than this other stick, and that's just because more water's been taken out. Okay. Yeah, Cerulean is it's a tongue twister. There's one other one I really have a hard time with, and I think it's pretty simple for most people, really difficult for me. This is buff titanium. Buff titanium is a very, very, very popular color. Again, it's the PW6:1 buff titanium. We also have the titanium white within the sticks. You're going to see a little bit of red. That's because I have it on my finger. So there is no red in this. Take it off my finger, so there we go. And again, I could do it the other way around as well. I could. Or I could do it on a plate if I didn't want any type of markings at all. Or just do it off the end of my brush like this. I just got to be able to add enough. There we go. Oh my gosh. That's neat. Jason says his mom was once bringing him a block of cheese, and they stopped it because it looked like a Z4. You know, Jason, I was in China, and I just met with an art group, a really neat art group. Many who are on here right now. I think George was there, Stella was there, Lauren McCracken was there, and I had a piece of lapis, and it was only about this thick, and it was about this long. And I was stopped, and security came over, and they said, "Would you open up your?" They took my baggage out of the conveyor belt. They said, "Would you open this up, please?" And they were really, really concerned. And I showed them, okay, it's lapis, and they said, "Oh, that wasn't the issue. The issue was it looked like it was a skeleton, and that you were taking some artifacts out of China." It's like, wow. You know, it actually kind of did look like a skeleton head. But then everybody laughed, and I was able to get out. Hello, Kathy in Eastern Washington. Okay, so the next 5. Okay, so the next 5, we're going to be looking at Carbazole Violet, Graphite Gray. This is Azo Yellow Medium, Hematite Genuine, Primatech. This is Cerulean Blue Chromium, and this is Cobalt Blue. So those are the next 6 we're going to look at. Oh, no problem, Caroline. If not, it's online. Just go ahead and watch it online. Okay. So this is Cobalt Blue. You'll see every color is different. The quinacridones are almost instantaneous. But you can get to whatever you want by taking it off the tip of the brush. As some have stated, you can shave it. Okay. So there is Cobalt Blue. Let's do Hematite Genuine. So Hematite Genuine, I would expect that it's a pretty tight pigment. And I could just put some on here. I think if I use a smaller brush, it'd be better than this brush. It's sucking up all my water. I'll use a different brush tomorrow. No, if you shave it, the binder's already there. So the gum arabic is already there. You won't need to add anything. What I will do tomorrow is I will shave some for you, since several of you have asked that question. I'll find out whether the plastic is available by itself, and I will shave some to show you what it looks like shaved. Okay, this is going to be Cerulean Blue Chromium. Cerulean Blue Chromium. I need to start with more of a... I am really just kind of afraid to add water, and I shouldn't be. You can tell I'm not a... Oh, another thing is I'm using the back side of this paper. I just need to use a new sheet. There we go. If the color granulates in the tube, it'll granulate in the stick. So it's going to have this, it's the pigment that decides whether something granulates or doesn't granulate. So it's going to have the same behavior. It's not going to change from pan or stick or tube. If it granulates in one, it will granulate in the other. Good question. Okay, this is Carbazole Violet. It's a pretty intense color. Okay, this is going to be Azo Yellow medium. Azo Yellow medium. So Marie says, what is the greatest advantage to use sticks over tubes or pans? I wouldn't say there's any advantage or disadvantage. It's just a different way of being able to, it's just another tool in your toolbox. It's like another pan or skillet for a cook or chef. It's just different. More portable. The stick is way more portable. The pan's portable as well. The stick is very portable. It's relatively easy to use. A pan, you can't draw with a pan or with a tube, but you can. Oh, so George says portable, freehand lines, etc. Thank you, George. As George is saying, you can draw with this. You can't do that with a stick or with a tube. So it's just another option. What I like is just giving options that then as artists you can decide what you want to do with them. So not better, not worse, just another option. This is Graphite Gray. Graphite Gray. Yes, many people have cut the sticks and put them into pans. You can do that. You can use them as a pan. Yeah. So Giovanni says you can cut them the size of a pan or half pan and insert them into white plastic. Yeah, absolutely. This one I have. Yeah, the Graphite Gray is really interesting. Okay, I want to show you that. I'll show you this. So here I brought French Ultramarine as a tube, so we'll see it in Danthrone and Lunar Black, just to compare it in terms of the sticks, and also Azo Yellow Light. So we'll look at that. So this is 7. It's going to be 7 of the sticks, and so we're going to see Lunar Black, awesome color, interesting, very interesting. This is French Ultramarine. This is going to be this is Azo Yellow Light. In Danthrone, that's going to be an intense color. Imperial Purple, another intense color. Lamp Black. And in Danthrone Blue. So the blackest black that we have is the Lamp Black. And then Ivory Black is a black with a yellow warm undertone. And then Lunar Black, Mars Black is just a very interesting black in how it behaves. Let me put these to the side. Grab another one of these. Okay, so let's look at French Ultramarine Blue. Okay, French Ultramarine Blue, and I can make it as dark as I want to make it. All right, French Ultramarine Blue. French Ultramarine Blue. And this is the tube. Okay. Stick, tube, both French Ultramarine Blue. This is from the tube. This is just regular water over here. If I want to, I can just make that as dark as I want to make it. So, kind of wherever I want to go with it. Okay. All right. So, the next one we'll do is Indanthrone Blue. So for each stick, because they're dried, you can wake it up to the extent you want to wake it up, and you're really going to see saturation. So that's from the tube. And Indanthrone Blue is a pretty intense color. Okay, stick and tube. If I want to make this darker, again, all I would do is just I can go from the end of my brush or just go in circles like this, and I get to the same place. So as Stella says, it's not really one or the other, it's just a different option. I like options, and it just gives another option. Okay, stick, tube. Same pigment, same binder. This is a Princeton Neptune. Karen, you know your stuff. I think tomorrow I'll use the Kolinsky because this seems to suck up a lot of the water. Okay, the next one we have is going to be Lunar Black. Okay, Lunar Black. You see the granulation. So very, very granulated in color. In my, what if I leave these in my drawers? Drawers, do you mean pants? That would be very interesting. They're going to be very colorful pants when you take them out. And your washing machine is going to be very colorful. But most of it depends whether they're staining or non-staining. If they're non-staining, you just need to put it in again and try to wash it back out again. Okay. So tube, stick. If I wanted to wake up the stick, again, I would just go around. You see as I do that, I can condense it to whatever level I want to do. Okay. I had some paint, watercolor, got onto one of my mineral sculptures, and it wasn't that easy to get off. So there we go. This is the stick, and this is the tube. Both granulating, both high granulating. Why is there an angry face? Oh, I don't see angry. We're using Stonehenge Aqua Cold Press. Brenda, is that your dog? Looks like a cute dog. Okay. The next one is Azo Yellow Light. And for some, if you wanted to go a little faster, you do a little bit of, have the water be a little bit warm. That'll break those pigment particles apart. Okay. And now, I always get the question of how does it look versus the sticks. I just wanted to take the time today to show you that many of them, but it kind of gives you a good idea. Okay. It's like happy hour. I like that. It definitely is a happy hour for me. I really enjoy it. Okay, the next one we'll look at is going to be Imperial Blue. Yep, Imperial Blue. Imperial Blue. Okay, this is Imperial Purple. It's a really pretty color. Okay, and the last of this set right here is Lamp Black. And again, black is going to be the blackest black. So if you remember, the story behind the lamp black is they would use a piece of canvas or a tent. They would have lamps go inside of it. The carbon would go to the top. They would then beat it with a broom, knock all the carbon to the bottom, and that's how they would get their pigment. Now somewhere there's some massive machine, I'm sure, that does it all instantly. Okay, lamp black. Has anyone come up to you and show you a tattoo of a DS2? No, no, everyone has. One of our distributors in Denmark, golden tattoo. Okay. Depends on where it is. Okay, so the next set of colors. And then we'll do the other half. We'll do that half next week. I don't think I'm going to be able to go through all these in 5 minutes, so I'm gonna take these and put these over here. We'll do those next week. That'll still give us 5, 10, 15, 20, 20 plus that we went through. There's 51 colors. So let's see cobalt teal. We'll see organic vermilion, sap green, permanent green light. And so we'll do these 5. All right. So this is going to be organic vermilion. No advantage, no disadvantage, Christine. It's just a different option. So it's just a different tool in your toolbox. I should clean my brush first. These are easy to travel with. Really just a different option. Okay. Organic vermilion. This is cobalt turquoise. This is cobalt teal blue. Cobalt teal blue. Okay, here we go. And some of these, the pigment is tighter than the others. So you can either do it this way, or just take the time to play with it, or you can release it on something. So it's kind of whatever you want to do. You can shave it. If you shaved it, it'd be almost instantaneous. Okay, that's cobalt teal blue. Get my hands on everything. So Jason says, John, what's the significance of the flower logo on the tube? So what we did is we ended up choosing a different logo for each one of the mediums. If you look at which I'll show you sometime very soon, I'll be doing the oils with you. If you want to watch the oils, we'll do the water soluble or the traditional or both. It is a boar, B-O-A-R, boar. And the watercolor, we chose it to be the flower, because watercolor historically has been botanical. Now it's used for everything because so many artists have, there's just so many masters doing so much type of artwork versus, 150 years ago, 100 years ago. And then the ink is a press, and then our corporate logo is the cactus. Oh, thank you, Aria. I can't believe we've been doing this for almost a year. I was telling my staff today, I met with my staff. I meet with them 3 days a week. I go back into work. And I was telling them that we have been through all the colors twice now. And if you have followed during most of that time, you know how to read a C-Lab chart, so you can actually look at a color and know where it falls and know whether it's warm or warmest or cool or coolest. You can also compare it against any other color because now you have that knowledge. I love that probably the most, is to be able to, for those that desire it, give them the ability to look at colors in a different way. I think now for most of you, with a color chart and a cup of coffee, you can actually figure out what you want to use before you ever do it. I think that's super powerful. This is permanent green light. Permanent green light. Okay. Oh. Come on. You'll figure it out in a second. I can tell when there's a lot of people going online, the connection gets slower. It'll catch up here in a second. This one's going to be nickel azo yellow. I'll go back over the colors just so you don't miss. This is nickel azo yellow. Come on. Sometimes. Well, it has its mind of its own today. I think that just started, so, which is a good thing when we have a couple colors. But I still want to show them to you. Let me see if I can get that. No, go this way. Come on. That is the strangest thing. The hand is focused, yeah. Well, kind of. Usually I do that, you can see it tries. But it's not doing these down here. Anyway, this one right here is sap green. It's very nice. This is the permanent green light, and this is the, this is new gamboge. This is actually the nickel azo. Let's see if I can get it to do, at least, let's see. Nope, it's not going to have any part of that today. I would unplug it and plug it back in, but last time I did it, I lost all of you. So I'll just show you these. If you're, I'll either show you next week, put your brush on it to focus. Okay. Oh, there we go. All right, Joy. There we go. Thank you. That was really good. That worked. It almost looks like it reversed itself. So this right here is the sap green. This is the permanent green light. And this is the nickel azo yellow. Yeah, thank you. That was good input, Joy. I'm going to do that from now on. I'll just do that. Okay, so with that, that's about half the colors. And I didn't go over with you, but I did bring a piece of transparent. It's not transparent. Yeah, it is transparent. I brought some transparent Yupo, but we can play with that next week, or we'll play with it tomorrow. we'll do some stuff. I'll just do it today for those of you staying. It's like 32 of you are still there for a couple minutes. Let's do a little bit of it right now. So it really super pops with this Yupo. I don't know if any of you use Yupo or not. And I think with the Yupo, when you do mix it, it won't leave any lines because of the kind of paper it is. Or it's not paper, it's like a plastic. Okay. So Jonathan says, Yupo paper is crazy. It's really fun. Takes every art medium very well. You can push it around, scrape it, hell, turn the paper into a lampshade. Go nuts. All right. With that, I want to thank you all for joining me today. I always appreciate having you, so thank you very much. If there's something else you wanted to see, let me know, and what I can do is I can get it ready for tomorrow or get it ready for next week. We'll go over the remainder next week. Then after that, I'll go over all the watercolor grounds. We'll play with how to tint them. You can tint them with watercolor. You can tint them with acrylic. We'll go over that. We'll play with that. And then please, questions you have, let me know what questions you have. I love questions, and I will get back to you. So I heard the question about, is the stick holder available? I will find that out. And also there was some interesting stuff about scraping. So what I'll do is tonight, I will scrape some with a pencil sharpener, and we'll play with that tomorrow. Thank you all very, very much. Take care. Be safe. Bye-bye.